Hello friends, myself Alok Verma, lecturer electrical engineering from Hewitt Polytechnic, Lucknow. In today's session, we will be discussing about the dynamometer type wattmeters. What is the basic principle of the dynamometer type wattmeter? How do they function? What are their advantages, disadvantages, and what are the errors caused in these type of instruments whenever they are used? So let's start. Now, before we start our session, let me introduce you to the fact that how does a wattmeter, what is a wattmeter and how does it makes the reading of the power. So, a device which measures the power is called as wattmeter, and the measurement of the power is done by the product of the voltage and current. When the instrument measures the voltage across the load and the current across the load, and its multiplication is done and is reflected on the scale of the instrument, then this instrument serves as a wattmeter. So there are various kinds of wattmeters available, like induction type wattmeter, electrodynamometer type wattmeter. In today's session, we will be focusing on electrodynamometer type of wattmeters. So here in the figure, we can see the schematic diagram of wattmeter, what all components it carries, and what are its basic features. So we can see here in the diagram that the instrument electrodynamometer type of wattmeter, it carries the fixed coil, and the moving coil. Two types of coil are present in this type of instrument, with the moving coil being suspended in between the two equal partitions of the fixed coil. What does that mean? We divide the fixed coil into two equal parts, left side and left side and right side we can see. And after dividing the fixed coil into two parts, we suspend the moving coil in between these two parts, and a pointer is attached to the moving coil. So whenever this moving coil moves, the pointer moves along with this coil. This pointer moves along with this coil, and it shows the deflection, the reading of the power on the scale. Now, how does the motion of this moving coil occur? Why does this moving coil move at all? So there is a very basic principle behind it. Now we can see here in the figure that there is a current in the fixed coil. This fixed coil is air cooled. And the moving coil is also air cooled. So whenever there is a current in the fixed coil, this develops an electromagnet type of properties. It develops a magnetic field basically. This first part develops a magnetic field, this second part develops a magnetic field, and here this moving coil also develops a magnetic field. Now these two magnetic fields, the magnetic field of the fixed coil and the magnetic field of the moving coil, these two magnetic fields interact with each other to result in a motion of the moving coil and hence the motion of the pointer. There is a structural difference between the fixed coil and the moving coil. The fixed coils, they are generally made up of small number of turns with thin wire, while the moving coil are made up of large number of turns with the thick coil. Now we can see here in the figure that moving coil has a resistor placed in series with it. Now what is the function of this series resistor? The voltage to be measured across the load could be as high as possible, could be very high. So whenever this voltage will appear across the moving coil, this may lead to burning of the moving coil. So to reduce this voltage which is present across the load and which may appear across the moving coil, we use the series resistor which will drop the voltage across the moving coil and hence prevent it from burning. So this is the purpose of series resistor. Now the fixed coil, it has a large number of turns while the moving coil has small number of turns, and both of these two coils develop electromagnetic fields. And these two electromagnetic fields interact with each other to result in the motion of the pointer. This forms the basic principle of working of the electrodynamometer type wattmeters. The other important thing to be known about these type of wattmeters is why and how does the instrument measure the exact power across the load. Why and how does the instrument measure exact power across the load? The fact here is that you can see in the diagram that the fixed coil, this is in series with the load. You can see it here, the fixed coil, the two parts of the fixed coil 1, fixed coil 2, the load and the supply voltage. All of these four quantities are in series. So the fixed coil will carry the series current or the load current. The fixed coil will carry the current in the load. This will carry the current in the load, while the moving coil, this moving coil, this will have voltage across itself which is the voltage of the load which it experiences. So these two quantities, the current in the fixed coil, the voltage in the voltage coil, which is obviously the load voltage, these two quantities will develop the electromagnetic fields. Both of these will develop electromagnetic fields, which results in the ultimate motion of the pointer. And because we are taking into account the voltage across the load and the current across the load, so this pointer or the deflection or the reading reflects the power being measured in the in the load. So this was all about the working principle of the electrodynamometer type wattmeters. Now let us go into detailed analysis of each part of the instrument. The first one is the moving coil. Moving coil, as I have already told, moving coil has a series resistance placed with it, which has a purpose so that it prevents the moving coil from burning. Also, the moving coil has large number of turns and it is made up of thin wire. It has large number of turns and it is made up of thin wire. Next comes the fixed coil. Now the fixed coil is divided into two equal parts, and fixed coil is connected in series with the load, and therefore it carries the current of the load. Now the fixed coil, it has large number of turns and lesser number of weight. Next comes the control system. There is a possibility of two control systems being used in these type of instruments. It could be the gravity control system, it could be the spring control system. We generally avoid using gravity control system and we opt for spring control systems. Now before we describe about the spring control systems, let me tell you why is control system used and what is the basic functioning of the control system. Control system has a very unique purpose, that is when there is a deflection of the pointer cannot return back to its original position. There should be a force which can propel it to its original position, and this force is provided by the control system. It could be either gravity control system or the spring control system. Here in this case we will be using the spring control system. It is a hair-like spring made up of phosphor bronze, and it is employed to bring back the needle to its original position. Damping system. What is the purpose of the damping system? Damping system damps out the oscillations. Damping system damps out the oscillations. Now where does these oscillations come from? Whenever we apply the measuring current to the instrument, the needle is deflected in certain direction. The needle gets deflected in certain direction, and at the position where there is when it gets when it gets balanced, just before that point, it there are to and fro oscillations of the needle. So to damp out these to and fro oscillations of the needle, to die out these oscillations, to minimize these oscillations, we use damping systems, and here in this case we use air friction damping. Air friction damping uses air friction to reduce these oscillations. Next comes the scale. The scale of these instruments is uniform. The reason behind being that the torque or force is directly proportional to power. The torque or the force is directly proportional to power. It is not at all proportional to the square of the power, which leads to a non-uniform scale. The uniformity of the scale here is because of the fact that torque is directly proportional to the power being measured. Now these type of instruments, the electrodynamometer type of instruments, they have certain advantages and certain disadvantages to be known. The advantages being that, the first advantage being that these instruments can be used both for alternating current as well as the direct current. Why these can be used for alternating current and direct current? The reason is that the power being measured does not get affected even if we use an alternating current or a direct current for measurement. The power is exactly measured what it is. The other advantage of these type of instruments is they have a uniform scale. The uniformity of the scale in these type of instruments is because of the reason that the force, the deflection torque or the deflection force is directly proportional to power. It is linearly dependent on power. It is not at all dependent on square of the power. So the scale here is completely uniform. The other advantage here is that these instruments have a high degree of accuracy if they are carefully designed. You can achieve a very high degree of accuracy. The fourth advantage which is possible here in these instruments is that they do not suffer from the eddy current loss errors and hysteresis errors, because the reason behind this is that the cores here are air cooled. The cores are air cooled. They do not contain iron or metallic piece inside them. They are generally air cooled, So there is no eddy current error or the hysteresis error. Now let us move to the disadvantages of these instruments. They carry a lot of disadvantages also. The disadvantages being, the first one being that the frictional errors in these type of instruments is very high. They carry a lot of frictional errors with them. The other disadvantage here is that at low power factors, the inductance of the potential coil causes serious errors. Uh, the potential coil has a very large number of turns. We all know that. So, because the potential coil has a large number of turns, so the inductance of the potential coil becomes very high, and it causes serious errors at low power factors, because at low power factors the inductance becomes of high magnitude. The other disadvantage of these type of instruments is the reading of the instrument is affected by stray fields acting on the moving coil. Now, what are stray fields? Stray fields are the fields which are present outside the instrument, and they are not the part of the instrument. They are present in the ambient atmosphere, and they are not part of the instrument, but they are capable of affecting these instruments. So the original field of the instrument being very small and weak, because the these moving coil and the fixed coil are air cooled, they are affected by these stray magnetic fields, and this results in serious errors. Now, to increase, because the other disadvantage of these type of instruments could be that, because they have a very weak field because of high number of turns. So to increase this weak field, we have to increase the number of turns. Now, for increasing the number of turns, after increasing the number of turns, the weight of the instrument gets increased. So the sensitivity of the instrument reduces. Sensitivity of the instrument reduces because of the increase in the weight, and hence it causes serious errors. Now let us move to the errors in the instrument. The first error, which is most prevalent in these type of in this type of instruments, is error due to power loss in the potential coil or the current coil. Now we can see here in the diagram that the fixed coil carries a voltage drop, which is not at all the voltage drop across the load. So an additional voltage is added with the load voltage. Additional voltage is added with the load voltage because of the drop in voltage drop in the fixed coil. This is point number 1. Point number 2 is the current coil carries the current which is in addition to the load current. Means the fixed coil carries the current of the load as well of the moving coil. Both of these currents combine to form the current in the fixed coil. So the actual power being measured gets varied because of the fact that there is an additional voltage drop in the fixed coil and there is an additional current drawn in the moving coil. These two facts account for a serious error in the instrument. So to replace this type of error, what we do is we use compensating windings. Compensating winding can be used here. This winding is connected in series with the potential coil so that it produces a field in the opposite direction to the current coils. This compensating winding helps in eradicating this type of errors by being placed in series with the potential coil, and it is so placed that its field is in opposite direction to the current coils. This is a way to escape from the errors produced by the potential coil and the current coils. Another error encountered here is error due to potential coil inductance. The inductance of the potential coil is present in the instrument because the potential coil has a very large number of turns. Now, because it carries a large number of turns, so it has a very high inductance, and this inductance results in serious errors. Because of this error, the wattmeter gives high reading on lagging power factors and low reading on leading power factors. Another error which is caused in these type of instruments is due to eddy currents. Now, the instrument has its own magnetic field, but because of the eddy current fields, the original field of the instrument gets distorted. Because of the presence of the eddy current fields, the original field of the instrument gets distorted and results in serious errors. The last error which occurs in these type of instruments is error due to stray magnetic fields. Because of stray magnetic fields, the weak field, why I am calling the field to be weak, the reason here is that the coils are air cooled. The coils here are air cooled and they have a very weak field as compared to the coils which are RN cooled. So here we use the air cooled coils and they have a very weak field, and because of this weak field, they get easily affected by the fields which are present outside in the atmosphere, which could be very strong or which could be weak. But the weak field of the air coils gets affected by these fields and hence results in the serious errors. So this was all about the errors in the electrodynamic instruments and all about these type of instruments. Thank you.